How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I am going to be showing how to complete the AL and NL Showdown starting down 15 runs with 20 outs remaining. These are going to be some tips and tricks on how I've been able to complete this, and as we can see here, I'm showing you all the screenshots. Well, I guess not all of them, because I have completed this mode about 15-20 times or so, probably even more. I've lost track of how many times I've completed this in the last 2 days, but I have been getting a lot of questions regarding how I'm getting these future star cards unlocked so quickly. I do have 11 of them unlocked. I've tried out 9 of them in the event. I've uploaded some YouTube videos and some Twitter videos, but let's go ahead and get into how to complete this showdown starting from behind in the game, 15 runs as well as 20 outs remaining in order to score 16 runs to win. So basically, I'm going to draft as much power as I can. The first one we're going to be doing is the American League. For the most part, the previous video, I talked about the National League more, and I focused on completing the National League more so than I did the American League. Here we want to draft a pitcher that can hit. Babe Ruth is definitely one of them. The other reason why I drafted Zach Greinke is because he can also hit. Because I'm skipping to the end, I don't need very many players. I just need them to kind of fill my roster, the remaining portion. If you notice, I have 5 empty positions. I need those guys to be filled in by the computer with some power. So let's hope that that happens, and let's hope that we can get some production from some of these bronze cards that we have in the lineup. So we do have Jorge Soler. It looks like we didn't get as much power. We did get Rowdy Tellez, I'm pretty sure, was a player that I didn't draft. So that's nice. He does have 60-something power. I'm looking for guys with 60-plus power. It doesn't really matter their vision or their contact attribute because we're playing on veteran for these NL and AL showdowns. So let's go ahead and build the team. We're putting players out of position because it doesn't matter. We're going to only hit and try to score 16 runs without getting 20 outs first. So I'm going to go ahead and put Babe Ruth as the ace, so that way he gets selected to be in that 9 spot right there. As you can see, he does have some hitting stats. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going up against the Royals in this one, and depending on which team you're playing, you're going to be facing a Future Stars pitcher. So there are a few lefties in the National League. For the most part, in the American League, you're going up against right-handed pitchers. So that is something to keep in mind as well when you're building your team, depending on which division you're going into. But the main thing is to not allow the pitcher to get the first few outs. The times I've failed this, I've kind of got the first 4 outs or the first 5 outs and allowed that pitcher's confidence to slightly increase. The individual pitches for the pitcher will also start to increase. So if you notice in this video, in this first clip here, I hit 3 home runs in a row, but I only have 19 outs left. So I got out the very first batter of the game. Now if you look, his confidence has dropped a little bit. If I don't hit those 3 home runs in a row right there, then and I get out, let's say, then his confidence is going to go up, and it's going to be a little bit tougher to get base hits. In this specific mode, if you have the confidence all the way down, you're going to get rewarded with lower tier players, and you're going to be able to get rewarded on hits or swings that you're not necessarily on the baseball entirely. So these are things that are big and that will certainly help you in this run. In this specific showdown mode, it's going to get interesting in this one. I'll say that, and we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on. But, I mean, in that last swing, I had a perfect fly ball. It resulted in an out. Sometimes you are going to line out and hit fly balls to the warning track. You have to keep in mind that you need to stay, I guess, patient at the plate. You're trying not to get frustrated through this mode. This mode is supposed to be a nice, fun way to grind it. Of course, you can play each and every mission leading up to the final showdown. But if you are trying to get these cards really quickly, I mean, you can unlock a Future Star card. If you are at Stage 2 for that specific team affinity, you can unlock one of these cards in about an hour worth of time. I mean, I completed these showdowns within 20 minutes, some of them, and some of them took me a little bit longer because I was taking more pitches. If you notice that last play, I hit into a double play with Jorge Soler. That is the worst possible thing you can do in this showdown. If you hit into multiple double plays, that is probably a little bit worse than hitting into one. But what I'm saying is it's the worst thing because of the confidence. It allows the pitcher to get back some confidence regardless if you have dropped that meter all the way down completely. So double plays are something you really want to avoid. Luckily, I was able to hit a double with Reggie Jackson and then a home run with Mitch Haniger to get that confidence to drop where it was before. If you notice here, I started to choke this run a little bit. I started to swing at inconsistent pitches, started to swing a little bit inconsistent with timing as well. But I also figured I would go to some pinch hitters. I tried to maximize everybody on my team. I used Bobby Dalbec, who also has a future star card. I used him because I figured I would be better off with him than a guy I haven't had a hit with in this showdown run. Then we get a hanging pitch to walk it off with 1 out remaining. So that first run right there probably was not the best example to show you how to complete it each and every time because I was down to my last out, but it was an example to show how you have to stay patient. You're never really out of it. You can score multiple runs down to your last few outs as long as the confidence is down, as long as you don't hit into too many double plays, as long as you don't strike out too many times, as long as you're putting the ball in play, hitting extra base hits, and scoring runs, even with sacked flies. Sacked flies are going to get the confidence down. Yes, you are accumulating an out. That sacked fly, though, might drop the pitcher's confidence to where you can start to get rewarded on some extra base hits, and you're able to hit 3 home runs in a row, let's say. So that might lead to something where you're able to get something going in that specific showdown. So this is actually the 10th card I've unlocked. I also unlocked Kyle Wright, but I'm going to get back into showing how to complete this showdown each and every time. Here we have Jonathan VR, who is a player that I didn't draft. He was just generated onto my team. But basically, I have 19 outs. I am looking to get some runs early in this one. We're facing Ryan Rollison, so we're in the National League showdown for this one, facing a lefty. I had to build my team a little bit differently. I went with more right-handed focused hitters, and it turned out that some of my hitters that were right-handed actually hit righties a little bit better. But I'm still trying to play that matchup, and it's really important to get some production. I can't stress that enough, how much of an importance it is to get some runs, some base hits from some of the lower tier players on your team, because in this mode you're going to have to get production from your golds and your diamonds that you draft. So that is probably the #1 tip. Also, if you're down to your last few outs and you only need 1 run, let's say the game is tied and you have a runner on second base, it's tied up at 15-15, you're down to your last 6 outs remaining, you might want to lay down some bunts, you might want to try and manufacture that run. The defense is going to play a little bit differently. They might bring the infield in because that's the game-winning run. Little things like that make a difference, and you really just have to understand the situation that you have in the middle of this showdown. So right here, I'm trying to avoid any double play at all costs. I'm hitting the ball pretty well. We have 12 runs with 12 outs remaining, so we've been able to score 12 runs here, now 13 runs, with only recording 8 outs. So that is a big thing right here. And of course, sometimes it takes a little bit of luck. Here is center fielder, the Colorado Rockies. I think that's Ramel Tapia. He misses that ball in center field. Sometimes you're going to need some luck involved. Sometimes the infielders are going to boot the ball. You just have to really take advantage of those situations. The perks that you get are pretty important. If you notice, I don't really have any active perks in this specific game. But in the next one, I believe I'm going to take a perk that's going to help me hit pitches outside the zone, which is kind of not what you're looking to get. And yeah, right here. So I'm going up against Jose Urquindi. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly. I'm probably not. Thank you all for correcting me on some pronunciations of some of these future star players. That's always nice as well. But to get back to what I was saying about the perks, I want to try and draft up perks that are always active, especially if I come across that perk that says increase contact while losing. For this final showdown, that's probably the best perk that you can get. For this specific one, I have the off the radar quirk, which gives you a slight contact attribute increase or a slight contact increase when you swing at pitches outside the zone. Now, that's not really what I'm looking to do anyway, but it has helped me before in the sense where sometimes you can hit a home run on an inside pitch or an outside pitch and hit it the other way. Just depends on the batter that you have up at the plate. Anyway, in this one, the computer generated some better players for me, as we have Jose Martinez, we have Ryan O'Hearn, we have a couple guys that really hit with a good amount of power. Above 70 is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 60, but if I can get above 70, that's what is ideal anyway in these showdowns. Anybody with 80 plus power is going to be able to hit no doubt home runs consistently. So here we have Miguel Sano, who started off the game pretty good. This time, not so much. Popped up to the warning track, just barely missed that ball. And sometimes you are going to get those good okays. It's all good. I didn't hit into a double play, so the confidence might have went up a little bit, but not as much as it would have if I hit into a double play. Reggie Jackson, though, is going to get the confidence down, as the base runners aren't even running. They have no idea where the ball's at. We're going to only score 1 run right here, but we have runners in scoring position. No double play is available, and that's what I'm really looking to do. I mean, consistently hit the ball, consistently move the PCI, and track these pitches, whether they're in the strike zone, whether they're out of the strike zone. I'm looking to take pitches, take strikes, swing at pitches that I can drive, swing at pitches that I can get over the middle of the plate, and that's exactly what we're doing right here. We get something going. We have 9 runs with 13 outs. Now we have 9 runs with 12 outs. Shohei Ohtani up, so another pitcher that can hit. And this is the gold Shohei Ohtani, so I didn't waste a diamond round on the future stars. I just drafted up the gold one, as you are going to get some pitchers rounds anyway. I think for both of the pitchers rounds in this draft, I had Ohtani and that silver Babe Ruth from the American League draft. So that was pretty nice. I would have had 2 options, even though you can't pinch hit a starting pitcher. But anyway, here we go with the last few outs left. We have 12 runs after hitting another home run. I'm still trying to take some pitches. I thought that was a fastball inside. I would have been ready, but I'm trying to practice my check swings. I'm trying to practice tracking the ball, and we're practicing some check swings. That was a little blooper with Reggie. It's all good, though. We have the tying run. We have the game tied up, and the winning run at second base. So we're able to hit a no-doubter with Miguel Sano. I think that was his 3rd home run of the game right there. Yes, it was. 3rd home run, 6 RBIs, and that is how you complete the AL and NL Showdown, down by 15 runs each and every time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm College Lefty, and peace out.